Hi, my name is James Petrovich, and I'm here to tell you about how schools should not be allowed to search through students' lockers and backpacks. So I want to start with a question. Have you ever had your personal things rummaged through or your privacy invaded? Take a moment to think about how you felt in the moment, or the moments this has happened if it has occurred on more than one occasion, like siblings or maybe someone not in your direct circle. Privacy is an important part and personal part of our lives, and education systems around the nation still practice locker searches and raiding students' backpacks. I'm here to talk about an issue that is currently affecting kids in areas as nearby as our local schools. Hearing about a child's locker being raided and searched probably doesn't make someone budge, but you have to consider, what if that student was your child? Or you realize that your school that your child goes to does personal searches freely and without standards. Here's the big issue revolving around the invasion of privacy. School searches are unnecessary, an invasion of privacy, and they're a threat to students around the nation, and they can bring long-term emotional and psychic effects to the student, as well as short-term fear effects. Invasion of privacy can cause traumatic experiences and embarrassment that is long-lasting within the students. Not only is there short-term fear, but it can psychologically change the way a student thinks and reacts to present or similar future situations. So how they could react now could affect not only something related to this, but just their thinking process in the future. The searches compromise the safe space students think they have at school, which detaches and alienates the student. A backpack is a student's personal item. It's what they have on them at school. And the locker is a safe space for the student. They're at school. And having it raided directly in front of them destroys that trust between them and the school and the space the student felt secure in. Searches are also an infringement on the student's basic rights. You can't just suspect a student has something and then wrongfully raid their locker or their backpack. It not only kills the trust, but it's also more wrongful than beneficial. And lastly, there's the human aspect of these searches, and that is the shame and humiliation the student suffers from. This can go hand in hand with the emotional trauma a student can suffer from during the search process, but all in all, it also spreads with the students watching around them. So basically, this is an issue, and is much deeper than it's just a backpack, or it's just a silly old locker that the student uses. No, it mentally affects and mentally drills into the minds of these students when these things occur in different ways in front of them. But luckily for us, there are ways that we can control this issue for the sake of our students. While searches may be seen as the safest route for a lot of education systems, there are better ways to ensure our students' safety and educate them along the way. It sounds simpler than it is, but teachers and staff need to start by giving students the benefit of the doubt. Very simple, very human. Think of the realisticness of a student having drugs in a locker or a backpack at school. Yes, there have been cases, but nowhere near the level of what people fear that we seem to have. The school can also present a new set of rules to help, compared to the ones that they have that revolve around these standards of searching through lockers. And it could be rules such as a student can only carry notebooks to class, and they should have an extended locker time so that they can exchange notebooks from their locker, and they don't have to worry about carrying a backpack from going from one class to the next. The school can also use any money it has to invest in other forms of security, such as high-tech cameras, detectors at the entrance, or advanced security. The school can also create stricter penalties to students for things such as contraband at school. Having stricter penalties is a better motivator for advising students that it's not okay to attempt to muzzle and smuggle this contraband into the school. And lastly, the teachers can educate the students and put an effort into the classes or events that will teach the students the dangers of harmful drugs or the side effects of being involved in certain situations. It is better to educate the students about the issue than to reject them and just assume that they don't know anything about it, which is just wrong. Think about how these things and how kids in high school and kids as young as middle schoolers don't know to the fullest extent what they might be getting themselves into. Take that time to think and help and see what they need. Think about how this will not only impact your personal thinking as the adult, as the teacher, as the staff member, but how it will change the thinking of the students as well. With simple education and taking the time to pay attention to our students, we can protect them from the current and future situations while also preventing the use of locker searches. I believe, without a doubt, that we can somehow make a safer space for our students and for the school by trying to educate, create rules, and use different pathways rather than just using our power without rules, without standards to take advantage of our students. Give students the benefit of the doubt because most of the time we don't understand even half of what they're going through or the things they're even doing. Thank you.